we are all one, whole, complete, part of the presence of Spirit, of God, of Buddha, of Jesus, of Rumi, all of them. We are all part of that one. And I bless this moment. I bless the center, the board, the practitioners, Dr. Sharon, Reverend Karen. I bless all of our volunteers. And I definitely bless Chris for his wonderful music that he shared with us. Thank you, God. And thank you for Brandy, who has given us a special gift of herself to the center in all that she does. We know the good can only come forward from this day forward, and we accept this good. The positive thinking, the affirmations, every one. We are one, united. And so it is.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Brandy. And I also want to thank someone else. I want to thank Joyce Lindsay for the beautiful July floral decoration. Thank you so much, Judy. Joyce. Okay. The next thing we will be doing this morning is listening to Chris Ernston with the gift of music.
And I'm going to get some help from the choir. And with Lori on the flute. You guys are encouraged to sing along when the chorus comes in. Those with good eyesight can see these words. That's all right. We're going to pump it up a little here in the air so they can actually see. I sprung this on them this morning, so it's impromptu. I appreciate all their patience. It's nice to have a choir again. Okay. If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my God above to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Forget Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say,
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, choir. Thank you, audience, for singing along with some of you. On this special day, as we celebrate our freedom, we will hear from two of our licensed practitioners who will share with you their personal experience of how practicing the science of mind has brought freedom and transformation into their lives. Welcome, Frank.
Our topic today was what has science of mind done for me in my life. It's a lot tougher subject than I thought, because I've been at it for 40 years. And I promise not to keep you here for 40 years. What I was looking for as a young man was something that was captured in the aspirations of the songs we've heard today. America the Beautiful. God stand beside her and guide her. And the song, I'm proud to be an American, and I stand with you today. Who the heck is it you they're talking about? Couldn't be me, right? I mean, what do I know? I'm just some kid at that time, 19, in the military, doing my duty. These songs are songs of inspiration, so that we can be pulled by a vision greater than we are. And the vision is the reality that we're called upon to make in a world that works for everyone. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Well, maybe not so much when you take a look at the way people act, implement the truths they think they understand. So when I was a young man, I grew up in a time that was very much like today. We were living through change, and we were living through transition. Uncertainty was all over the place. Just watch the 5 o'clock news back then. We were questioning institutions of government and our churches, all that they believed, and yet what did they actually do? Such times following WW2, where our fathers were off at war. And then the revisiting what it meant all through the 50s, the 60s, and 70s, in my neighborhood, my state, my country. The state of the Union back then looked pretty chaotic to a 19-year-old. So I was looking for something in a philosophy that I wasn't finding in the churches. The churches were all very patriotic, like many of our songs today. God on my side, all of that. Which in our father's generation in World War II, when you were on the battlefield, you needed to believe something that powerful to keep you alive and hope it would come to a better day. Wasn't that different when I was 19 years old, just the geography had changed. I was looking for a framework for understanding of applied spirituality, a practical and useful faith, something to believe in, spirituality for my daily life. I didn't want phrases, I wanted something that worked. Something that gave me stability in all the chaos. I was looking for what we now call today superheroes. Yeah, where was my superhero at 19 when I needed one? Where's your superhero today? I needed a practical guide. Spirituality for Dummies? You heard of that book? I needed something to explain and demystify why God was allowing all this chaos among humanity. Where were my superpowers when I needed them then, or even today? Dr. Ernest Holmes is a special kind of superhero. He doesn't wear a uniform. He never had decorations on his suits or pins in his lapel. But to me, he's a superhero because he brought order and understanding in a world that appeared to be in chaos. He brought a method to work to bring a better world into fruition. Dr. Holmes, if you don't know, is the founder of the Science of Mind. It is a philosophy and faith and way of life. Dr. Holmes distilled beliefs of faith and religion from both the East and the West. His unique insights into applied, practical spirituality proved to me to be a user's guide, a manual for applied faith, applications for everyday life. Again, I was looking for something that actually worked, wasn't full of platitudes. Our textbook, here it is, The Science of Mind. I don't want to scare anybody. There's only 666 some pages in this thing. It's not the short form. But he goes into a detailed explanation of what spirit is and how it works. And your choice is to get on board with how it works or keep hammering the rhetoric that you hear around you. Now there is hope, okay? You don't have to read that, although taking a few classes might help. There is a short form. It's called This Thing Called You. If you haven't read it, very helpful as a blueprint. How to use the science of mind. A user's manual. How to turn that philosophy into something that works for yourself and everyone. If you want a little bit of the background, you look for the basic ideas of science of mind. It's only 120 pages, it's not 600, so it's a lot shorter read. The Science of Mind is, for me, such a framework, a user's guide for understanding the practical and applied approach to faith, beliefs, and spirituality. Most importantly, and this is the key, it's a way, a path to understanding about God and Spirit. Dr. Holmes used to always begin his lectures in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and into the early 60s with this declaration: there is a power in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. That sounded like an idea to me. Was he talking about what we call superpowers today? I didn't know it then, but I know it now. He was a superhero. Still a little shaky on whether he really meant me or not when he said you. Maybe me. Science of Mind postulates God as a spiritual system, a science of faith governed by law based on recognized universal principle. The caveat is that faith, religion, and philosophy must be supported by reason and law, spiritual law. Science must justify my faith, not hope. Justify my faith. So, where are my superpowers, especially back then when I needed them, heading for Vietnam, except I never went. I was stationed stateside. Many of my friends did. Lofty words in our songs, but I never was a fan of blind faith and rhetoric. Just didn't do it for me. So I want to know, what is this stuff about faith and how does it work? Science of Mind, Big Book, Chapter 1. Explains the thing itself, what is spirit. It explains how it works. It tells you how it works and what it does. And the picture for me was how to use it. Now I thought I was finally getting somewhere. Somebody at least made it simple to understand. The education that came from reading Science of Mind unlocked the door to spirit and how it works, and to much, much greater possibilities in my life and for the country and the world at large. Of course, there was this thing about practice, practice, practice. You know that old saying about chop wood, carry water? Then I got enlightened, educated, chop wood, carry water. In short, the tools to actually design a life. The insights and practices suggested in Science of Mind. When I employed them, results came very quickly. By cleaning up a lot of bad habits, false beliefs, and an awful lot of my negative, self-defeating, and self-limiting internal talk. I myself held me back from a richer and more joyful life. All these years of blaming, shaming, and accusing them folks. Slowly at first, then more rapidly, and eventually, these false ideas gave way to a world that seemed to be the potential of a lot more harmony for everybody. I became more aligned with Spirit's good stuff. Understanding that the Spirit itself is impersonal in nature, but personally available to each of us, allowed me to actually forgive myself and those others for our foolish words, actions, and deeds. In short, I had to do it in order to transcend my ignorance and move forward to a richer and more healthy life.